Peace, family, peace, peace, peace. What it do, boo? Okay, honey, we out here. Okay, we out here. All right, you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I just left the park, and I was working out. And one of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about is creating anxiety over tomorrow. Let me tell you one darn thing, okay? We done been down this road. How many times? How many? Several. We done been down this road, down here. We done been up this road, up here. Okay, we done been down here before. Okay, we done been every which way. Okay, we done been to the left. Well, actually, that's my right. But we done been to the right and to the left. Okay? Let me tell you one darn thing. Stop creating anxiety over tomorrow. To the ones that's out there that says, I have anxiety or writer's block, and I got this from this pastor. See, listen, Linda. Okay, you can always get a good word like Big Bird, okay, from someone else. All right, you get what I'm saying? Don't be so closed-minded and be like, well, I can't get a word from them or whatever it is. Yes, you can. Now, let me get back to what I was saying. On this gorgeous day, although it looked like it's fenced to rain, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so to the people that have the anxiety or experiencing anxiety, because you guys know, okay, I always say, and I've been saying this for many years now, okay, because you guys seen me, okay, when I first stepped on the scene, like the Master Lean. Okay, listen. Anxiety over tomorrow. Some people say, but what if it don't work out that way? You already putting that into the ether by saying stuff like that. But what if it don't work out? What if things don't happen the way I want them to happen? But what if they do? Okay? What if they do? Okay? And to the ones that say this one is really good. Okay? This one is good. To the ones that say, but I want to work out, but I'm just not motivated to do so. Let me tell you one darn thing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you a thing or two. It's not that you are unmotivated. The problem is, this is the problem. The problem isn't you're unmotivated. The problem is you done canceled your damn self out before you even got started. Well, Dina, how did I cancel myself out? No, I really want to work out. I really believe that I deserve to be in the best shape of my life. Well, do you? Do you, Linda? Do you? Because if you did, you would work out. If you believed it, you would do it. Faith without works is goddamn dead. Okay? It's dead. So if you are a person that's like, I want to open that business, but I'm just not motivated to see what I got to do to open it, you canceled yourself out. You canceled yourself out. The reason why you're unmotivated to open that business, or unmotivated to start that video, or unmotivated because you believe that you can't succeed. God damn it. Okay? And that wasn't a bug. I just was stomping. You believe that you're not going to be successful. You already canceled yourself out. Okay? I heard this pastor today. And one of the things he said, you know, some people say they have writer's block. And I think his name is Byron, I think. He's on YouTube. He said some people say they have writer's block. Okay? It's not that they have writer's block. They have anxiety over the fear of them being successful. Because what they have been telling themselves, or they listening to the chatter from everybody damn else. And half of the people that you listening to, honey, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing the darn thing. Okay? And you out here listening to somebody else tell you. For instance, say somebody is calling you fat. Okay? Now, it may be the truth. Okay? Maybe you are overweight. Okay? You know, we have to stop becoming so sensitive to what other people say. Okay? And turn it around. Hey, Rashid, peace to you, baby, peace to you. Hey, El Toro, peace to you. Hey, Robin, peace to you. Whoever else is on here, honey, I can't see ya. Honey, I'm looking, I can't see ya, okay? Listen, you have to stop being so sensitive and turn whatever somebody say. If you know it's true, you could do something about it. You could turn it around, okay? But you have to be aware of what you putting out, okay? Because, one second. I don't know why my phone keep going in and out dark. Because if you're not aware of what you're doing, then anybody that comes along and say something, you're going to fall for whatever it is that they have said. Okay? I told you guys I had an ex of mine who used to say to me, he used to say, go read. Right? He would try to be funny. Okay? And I would feel bad, and I would be like, I would be like, what the fuck, like, who you talking to? Like, I would be all in my feelings and stuff, right? And the reason why I was in my feelings, because when I was a child, I would hear stuff like, oh, you move slow, or whatever it is like that. So I would take that personal and say, I already canceled myself out when he would say, go read. Like, I would be like, I felt like I couldn't read. Okay, isn't there something? I felt like I couldn't read. And so when he would say it, I would be in my feelings like, who you talking to? I would, all riled up and stuff like that. But what I started doing, I started turning what he said around. Okay? That's what I started doing. So what I started doing was I started getting the books, okay, the personal development books. I started reading them so much that now the very person who was saying go read, it was interfering with our relationship at the time. You know why? Because those books that I was reading, it was making me become more and more aware of who the fuck I was. And so then he would say, like, I was always working, right? Always investing. When I first became aware, right, of the power I possess, you could change your life, all this different stuff. What I started doing, I said, wait, hold on now. I could change my life. So it's up to me if I really want to change my life. Because faith without works is dead. Oh, okay. So then I started doing stuff. And the things that I was doing, like the investments, the seminars that I would attend, I would go to, it made me start becoming more and more aware of my power. It made me start being on a higher frequency. And so now I'm looking at him, the same one who was like, go read. Now I'm looking at him and I'm like, you don't want better? Right? So sometimes in life, what you got to understand is you got to be mindful, okay? Because that one joke that you may be like, jokingly saying to someone like, oh, go read or go work out. Honey, they may do that. Ooh, this is the part that feels good. They may do that, and guess what? They may do that and then you lose them. Why? Because Well. The reason you may lose them is because it's like they stepping into they greatest version of themselves. And now they looking at you like, what about what you doing? See, they growing because you done kept telling them, go read, go work out, go do this, learn how to save your money and all this other stuff. And now that person they take your advice, and they do it. And then guess what? After they take your advice, now they don't want you. Why don't they want you? It's because they done seen that they are capable of more. If they were able to change their lives, guess what? Now they like, I don't have to settle for this. I don't have to settle for this person. I could be with somebody, just like I changed my life. I could be with somebody else that is doing the work too, as opposed to just criticizing. See, that you got to be very mindful of how you coming across people, okay? So, you having anxiety over tomorrow, let me tell you something. First of all, anxiety, it does not, I don't care for saying you have it, right? Because whatever you constantly, honey, being in the sun is the one, okay? Being in the sun. Now, it's a little cloudy, but getting that vitamin D is all right with me. Okay, now listen, let me get back to what I was saying, okay? Now, I don't care for saying you have anxiety, right? I feel you experiencing anxiety, and the reason being is because you don't believe necessarily what you were saying. For instance, I'm gonna give you guys a good parable, a good analysis. Listen, I remember, right, when I first decided to have my speaking engagement, right? Now, and I'm all pumped up, I'm excited, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my first speaking engagement. I was listening to like a lot of Bob Proctor, and his business partner, Sandy Gallagher, okay? And I'm listening to them, and I'm in the car, I'm doing Uber, I'm getting all riled up, I'm excited. I'm like, oh yeah, me and my family lives are about to change. Me and my children lives are about to change. I'm going to be doing these speaking engagements, giving my own speaking engagement, and I'm going to be doing all of this and that. And I sent a text message to my good friend that I met while I was doing Lyft, Thomas. I sent him a message, and I haven't known Thomas for long, right? But people will enter into your life when the time is right, okay? People will enter into your life, and I don't give a fuck if they all the way in New Mexico, okay, or in Brazil or Africa. Honey, we are energy, okay? Point blank period. We are energy, okay? People will enter into your life when the time is right. And so I'm in a car, right? And I'm driving, and I send Thomas, of course, I was in texting while I was driving, right? I pulled over, and I sent him a message, right? I'm so excited, right? I'm like, oh yeah, my life is about to change, right? And I've been listening to Bob Proctor and, a lot of people that's in personal development. I've been listening to them for a minute, right? Like 6 years, consistently, every day. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this speaking engagement. So I sent Thomas the message, and I'm excited. I'm like, oh, hey, Thomas, because one of the things Thomas had said to me, how you doing? One of the things Thomas had said to me before, he said, while he was in my car, he said, whenever you are ready, like for the speaking engagement, he was like, let me know. But Thomas he is so amazing. He had paid for me to get professional pictures, okay? Professional pictures done. from a photographer, okay? And I thought, like, damn, that was really, really dope. I did think, I'm gonna be very transparent. I said, well, maybe Thomas liked me, right? Very transparent. But it wasn't like that. He paid for the pictures, and to me, it's just like, he wanted to see me win, right? So here I am. I sent him the message, and I'm excited. And then fear started coming in. Me experiencing anxiety started coming in. And all these ideas started coming up about when I was a kid. And I would hear constantly, this person would say certain things. And they would say, repeat after me, tell me what I just said. And I would get it wrong. And they would say, I did not just say that. You always get the cat by the tail. And so all those ideas started coming up. And I started thinking, what the fuck did I get myself into? How am I do this? How am I speak in front of people? I was starting to cancel myself out. And one of the things that happened was, after I sent Thomas the message like, oh yeah, I'm going to do the speaking engagement, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, because Thomas used to work for Les Brown. Like, come on, okay? When he was younger. When Thomas was younger. Well, and Les Brown was younger. But anywho, when Les Brown was at the radio, doing radio. And what I said was, I started having all these emotions, and I started thinking like, damn, I done put my foot in my mouth. And so what happened was, Thomas called me immediately. And at first I didn't accept the call. Or did I? But I know I wasn't going to accept it. Because I know, I knew he was going to talk me into how I could do it, and he was gonna be really excited while I was so goddamn nervous. And so what happened was, he called me, and I just told him, I was like, Thomas, you know what, I'm afraid, I'm nervous, I'm scared, I don't know, and all this other stuff. And he told me to watch this movie, Indiana Jones. And he was like, watch this movie. He was like, I'm telling you, this movie is really, really good. And he was like, you think other people don't experience this, go through this? And one of the things he said that I'll never forget, he said, the old Dina is not going to want the new Dina to come about, right? And that's pretty much your ego, right? Your belief systems that the thoughts, right? Thoughts are your belief systems, right? Turn into your belief system. And so I started thinking about that. And all the time leading up to the speaking engagement, I was terrified. The closer it got, I started noticing, one of the things that I notice is like when I feel a certain type of way, right? Like nervous or whatever, I would complain a lot. I would do a lot of complaining, or like mainly complaining a lot. And so I had to pick my children up from school, and I'm experiencing so much anxiety, because it's like now I'm becoming this different person, right? And then I'm thinking like, oh shoot, now I gotta figure out, how to book a place, and how to book a center for me to give the speaking engagement, how to do all these different things, and all these different things. And let me tell you something, okay? Let me say this, all right? While you are changing who you are, I don't want you to think that there's not going to be adversity, okay? Because I'd be damn lying to you if I said that. You're going to face obstacles and you're going to face adversity, but it's not there to stop you, okay? And so the day of the speaking engagement, of my speaking engagement, I meditated. I was nervous. I expressed I was nervous, but I still did it. I still did it. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I had booked it, I think it was for 2 hours. And the lady who rented out the place to me, she said, if you're not going to be here for the whole 2 hours, just send me a text message and I could come back and, give you your deposit and stuff like that. And I was telling the lady, I was like, man, I ain't going to be here for a whole 2 hours. Honey, we was there at the place for a whole 2 hours. And you know who showed up? You guys. You guys showed up. Okay? My dear good friend Samantha showed up. My son showed up. Thomas showed up. Forte showed up. A correctional officer when I was in the youth house. She showed up. Okay? And 3 other phenomenal, beautiful sisters showed up. So I'm here to tell you, okay? You don't have to have it all figured out. And stop canceling your goddamn self. Stop canceling yourself. Stop feeling like you're not good enough. And you experiencing anxiety because every time you finna change, right, it feels uncomfortable. And the reason it feels so uncomfortable is because you becoming someone different. If you comfortable, that means you're not growing. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you got to be uncomfortable in order to grow. But one thing I know is either create or disintegrate. It's either you growing or you dying. And what you have to understand is you have the ability to grow. You have the ability to change who you are. You don't have to keep on doing the same thing. And to the people that saying, well, I want to do it, but I don't know where to begin. Let me tell you something. It was numerous times I didn't know how to do certain things. But I was so eager to change me and my family lives that I kept on knocking. I kept on saying, nope. Although I'm afraid. I remember when I opened up the business, my business, Universally Fit. And I may start bringing that back around. But it wasn't so much of me opening up the business. It was so much of me believing in myself that I can have a business. Okay? And so what happened was, I remember the banker, when I went to the bank, Chase Bank, and I was telling the guy at Chase Bank, it was so many times that you guys have helped me overcome stuff, whether you know it or not. You could go. Whether you know it or not. Times where as though I wanted to open up a business and I was scared to do so, and I did it, right? And I brought you guys along with me. If you've been following me on Facebook for a minute, okay? It was times where as though I was afraid to start going to the gym, right? And then I did it, okay? I did it. So what I'm here to tell you is this. The anxiety you are experiencing is because you are becoming somebody different. And when you start experiencing the anxiety, this is one of the things I'm going to need for you not to do. Okay? Well, I'm going to focus on, I'm going to need for you to do this. One of the things you can do is express how you feel. Express. Because one of the things that I know to be true Every time when I was experiencing something, and I tell the people, whether it's at where they work at, I go into the store, whatever, I tell them exactly how I feel, and they say, oh, well, me too, or something like that. Okay? The problem is you want to act like you have it all figured out. And at times you may not have it figured out. Okay? And at times I don't have it figured out. But who said you have to have it all figured out? You don't have to have it all figured out. You learn as you go, as you grow, you learn. Okay? So, as you experiencing that fear, okay, well, that anxiety, I'm going to need you to, one, breathe. Okay, we gonna breathe. We gonna breathe. Because you can't be breathing and still be feeling that nervousness like that. Okay? 2, I'm going to need you to practice affirmations. I'm going to need you to constantly tell yourself, you are phenomenal. See, the problem is, you have this tape going on in your mind, and the tape is from all the people who told you you was a failure, you wasn't gonna amount to anything, you know, you was gonna be like your daddy, like your mama, nobody loved you, you were a horrible kid, and you know, that's why people don't love you now. All these things, what you got going on in your mind, I'm gonna need you to start reprogramming your goddamn self. And the way you reprogram yourself is you start listening to stuff that is going to make you feel good. It's going to start reconditioning your mindset. You can listen to me, okay? But the power is all within, right? You could listen to inspirational stuff and start understanding that you can change your goddamn life. Okay? I mean, like, on every level. Okay? You can change your goddamn life. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. And that's another thing. See, some people, they don't believe certain things because it doesn't happen quick enough. Right? But let me tell you something. You've been programmed from when you was a puppy, okay? From the time when you was in the womb, okay? You've been being programmed, okay? And then you want things to happen instantly. Sometimes you just gotta be patient, okay? And understand that it's all working out for you. Okay? Whatever it is that you're going through, it's working. Alright? You know why I do the videos and been doing the videos? See, sometimes in life you have to put the damn wood in first. Okay? You have to put the wood first. Universal law. You have to put the wood first and then you get the fire. But some of you guys, you know what some of you guys are doing? You out there asking for goddamn heat and you ain't putting the wood in. Okay? And then when you see somebody else getting rewarded, and one of the things that you most likely didn't see is they sweat, blood, and tears that they done been putting in for so many years, you just see the rewards. And you say, well, they knew somebody. Like that happened for them overnight. Not necessarily. So you will be tested. Okay? But what you have to understand is tomorrow does not exist. Okay, so to the people, well, what about if, you know, I try that thing and it don't work? Try it. But by you saying, what if, you already creating a possibility that it may not work. you have to go in like a child. You gotta go in like a child. You gotta be like, you know what? I don't know if this goddamn thing is gonna work or not, but I'ma do it. I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Because I believe in me so much that I have absolutely nothing to goddamn lose. You have nothing to lose. So you gotta look at yourself like that. And stop worrying about tomorrow, because what exists is the here and the now. Okay? If you do one push-up, okay? I didn't always work out outside. Okay, I just told you guys, it was once upon a time I was scared to go to the gym. And I always pretty much been active. Even as a kid, I always been active. But I was scared to go to the gym one time. And from me doing one thing, it led to many other things. It was once upon a time I was scared to run outside. Okay, thinking all types of shit. Alright? But then I started running outside. And from me doing all those things, it have led up to who I am today. Okay? So, I started somewhere. And I'm still going. And that's the thing with you. You have to start somewhere. But stop canceling yourself out. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough. And it's not that you can't do those things that you say you want. It's that you are listening to the goddamn chatter what other people may have said about you. And before you even get started, you have already convinced yourself you can't do it. Why? Feel the emotions and still do it. You know, that's what I'm for. Feel those emotions and still do it. Because you're not gonna die. You are not going to die. Okay? So, with that being said, I love you guys. Make sure you're rocking out. Make sure you believe in yourself. Make sure you know you have the ability to change your goddamn life. Because you do. Peace.